You cross the Missouri River here in North Dakota, and you notice pretty much an immediate change in landforms, don't you?
North Dakota State University distinguished professor Tom Isern's academic specialty is the Great Plains of North America history. Although his research frequently takes him abroad, he has lived his entire life on the plains. He is the author or co-author of 6 books and is particularly invested in the story of farming, ranching, and rural life.
I always say I came here on purpose. One thing is it's a land-grant institution. I love the land-grant ideal, the idea of engagement with the people on a day-to-day basis, never losing touch. And it turned out there was a Juan Gallego with Coronado, an officer with Coronado in 1541. It's an institution of the Great Plains. That's my lifelong home, as well as my preoccupation in scholarship.
Dr. Isern is the founding director of NDSU's Center for Heritage Renewal and conducts applied research and public service in the areas of historic, preservation, and heritage.
Something I take a great deal of pride in is having brought the first National Endowment for the Humanities project grant ever to NDSU, and did 5 of those in a row. It was a summer project called the Great Plains from Texas to Saskatchewan, and that's in the middle of my field of expertise. You see, the Great Plains. I think something else I'm proud of is going offshore away from my traditional field of expertise to do studies in places like New Zealand and Australia, other, shall we say, grassy places of the world, so that I'll never be endangered of being parochial, because I've done the same sort of history 8,000–9,000 miles away from home, and I don't lose the edge. Always discovering new things.
In 1998, he was selected as the first Outstanding Educator Award of NDSU's College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences, and in 1999 received the NDSU Peltier Award for Innovative Teaching.
Find solution on the plains through a large governmental override. I play Iba ball. Coach Iba always said every player has to touch the ball. And that's the way I teach a class. Everybody needs to touch the ball in there. Another principle would be, well, I call it boots on the ground. You know, I teach classes where people do their work in the libraries, they do their work in the classroom, and they have to get out there also and see history on the ground. And one more proposition. We're a land-grant university and a research university. And that makes it incumbent on me to be a certain type of teacher, one who's been to the frontier of knowledge. If I haven't been there, engaged in discovery on the edge of my field, how can I take the students there?
This element of discovery is something students at NDSU recognize and seek in a professor.
I think it's important to be a research professor at this institution for 2 reasons. One is that's the character of this institution. Students have a right to expect they're learning not just from somebody who maybe tries to stay current in the field through reading and that sort of stuff, but who is pushing the frontier of knowledge. The other thing is I've got to keep my edge. I'm getting long in the tooth, you know. I've got to continually engage in discovery so that I bring the same passion into the classroom that I had 4 decades ago.
His best advice for students?
If you don't have the love of what you're doing, then it doesn't do any good to master the rudiments or even the sophisticated part of the craft. You've got to bring the love to it if you're going to not only accomplish something in your field, but live a good life.